Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Mood616 here, and I'm back with shelf number 7 of my DVD horror collection overview. Alrighty, let's get right into this. First up is The Johnsons. This is a film from the Netherlands, more specific, Holland. Yeah, this is a pretty cool release by Anchor Bay. It's a pretty interesting movie, actually. I don't really want to get into the plot of this one, but it's got an interesting premise. I actually really enjoyed that one. Rodero Didado's Jungle Holocaust. What can I say? Cannibalism. Some very disturbing moments in it, but it's a fun film. I do recommend this one. It's very cool film. Next up is Junk. Junk is I want to say, Korean maybe? I can't even remember. But pretty cool zombie film. I heard mixed reviews on this one. I actually thoroughly enjoyed it, though. Pretty entertaining, to say the least. Just Before Dawn. I believe this edition is out of print. This is released by Shriek Show. Fantastic slasher film. Great atmosphere. Great, soundtrack. But I don't know, man. It gets a little bit of hate. I don't know why. I think this movie's beautiful, actually. But I don't know. I recommend that one. Mario Bava's Kidnapped. This is more of like a crime kind of thriller deal. Horror elements, I guess. I think it's a very cool Mario Bava film. Kind of underrated. Doesn't really get talked about a whole lot. Killjoy from Full Moon. Terrible movie. Entertaining, though. But I do warn you, it is very bad. Killjoy 2 is definitely better than the first one. But, once again, it's entertaining. It's still a bad movie. Killjoy 3, I really enjoyed. This movie is actually pretty kick-ass. Definitely better than the first two. And then Killjoy 4 Goes to Hell. Killjoy Goes to Hell, probably my favorite one. This is a weird franchise. They seem to have gotten better with every release, so I don't know if you've seen the first one and didn't like it, just maybe check out the next ones. I don't know. Next up is a British film called Kill Keith. Obviously, a take on Kill Bill. It's a horror comedy. I hate this shit right here. The best British horror comedy since Shaun of the Dead. Why the fuck do they have to put Shaun of the Dead on every fucking quote? I hate it. Yeah, it's a fun movie. I had a lot of fun with that one. Kill Theory, this is part of the After Dark Horror Fest 4. I thought this movie had a pretty cool premise. I would say a little predictable, but still very entertaining. I thought the kills, and I thought it was shot very well. Next up is another Full Moon movie called The Killer Eye. That's literally what you're getting as a killer eye. It's entertaining. I recommend it. It's fun. Cheesy, but fun. Speaking of cheesy, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. One of my favorite movies. Probably, it might even be my favorite Killer Clown movie, man. This movie is just brilliant. It's fucking hilarious. I do recommend getting the Blu-ray. I have the Blu-ray of this too, and it looks really good, I gotta say. But this is a really cool release from Midnight Movies, MGM. If you've never seen Killer Clowns, definitely check it out. It's fucking fantastic. Next up is Killer Movie. Still got the shitty price tag on there. This movie right here I thought was going to be just a pile of assholes, but it turned out it was a little better than I thought it was going to be. Kind of surprised me a little bit, I gotta say. And it's got that girl from that show. What's her name? I don't know. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's the chick from The Big Bang Theory. I can't remember what her fucking... But anyways, Killer Pad. This movie was directed by Robert Englund. It's a horror comedy. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's definitely worth the watch. I had a little bit of fun with that one. Next up is Killer Party. Now, one of my favorite slasher movies ever. I've watched this movie ever since I've been introduced to this movie. I've watched this movie so many fucking times. Just love it. It has great atmosphere, great 80s vibe. And then the interesting thing about this movie is that it was filmed over such a long period of time, but they still managed to capture the atmosphere, and it's so good. Like the 80s vibe. And I know it started like right in the early 80s and got released in the mid 80s. So, Killer Rats. Now this is one Killer Rat movie that never made my Killer Rat week. I heard this one's really shitty. It's got really bad CGI and stuff. I've never actually watched this one, so maybe I was kind of planning on maybe doing a part 2 to my Killer Rat week, so I was kind of sitting on this one until I did it. Next up is Killer Story. This is released by Brain Damage Films. It's an anthology film. Basically about these two guys sitting in a bar, and I can't remember exactly the wraparound story. I think they're competing to tell the best type of story, and whoever loses dies or something like that. But yeah, I remember this actually being pretty good. The stories were actually pretty well done for being such a low budget film. If you like anthologies, I pretty much love all of them. Not all of them, but I love anthology films. Killer Tomatoes Strike Back, what can I say? Just cheesy shit right there. Killer Tomatoes Eat France. Once again, really, really fucking cheesy. Still fun, though. Tim Ritter's Killing Spree, released by Camp Motion Pictures. This is a fucking awesome movie about a dude that just starts going crazy because he's fucking paranoid that his wife's cheating on him with everybody that comes by the house and shit, so he goes on a killing spree. Very cool film. I love it. Highly recommended. This movie is Kiri. I can't actually... I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. This is actually pretty decent. You know, I believe this is a Korean film. I don't know. I'm so bad with getting the Asian films mixed up. But, no, I actually really enjoyed this one. It was good. Knock Knock. Now, I have yet to watch this film and the sequel, Knock Knock 2. So, sorry about that. I'll get to those sometime. Colobus. This movie I reviewed on the old review channel. That review is not on YouTube anymore. This is a really cool fucking kind of slasher film. Very, very underrated. I'm glad I got introduced to this movie because I really enjoyed it, man. I highly recommend this one. Here's the Region 2 release of Colobus. I think I'm probably going to re-up my reviews on my channel, so be on the lookout for that if you're looking for a review of it. Lake Dead, part of the After Dark Horror Fest. I believe this was part, I don't know, 2 or 3, I don't know. This was a decent film, you know, another one that was definitely worth the watch. Not bad. Lake Placid, of course, with Bill Pullman, Bridget Fonda, Oliver Platt. I really enjoyed the first Lake Placid film. I thought it was actually very enjoyable. And then you got Lake Placid 2, pretty bad, but not as bad as part 3. And I've yet to pick up part 4. So, Lake Mungo. Now, this is a really cool kind of documentary. It's shot documentary style, meant to be like real and stuff. Very fucking cool film, man. I really, really enjoyed this one. One of my favorites from the After Dark Horror Fest 4. I recommend that film. Laid to Rest. Pretty cool killer. Very awesome fucking kills. This one gets mixed reviews. I do like that film. I think it's pretty good. Then you got Laid to Rest 2, Chrome Skull. Not as good as the first one, but still kind of enjoyable. I think it's pretty funny that Brian Austin Green is in this film. Daniel Harris is in this one too, a little bit, but Brian Austin Green, that is too funny. George Romero's Land of the Dead. Now, another film that gets major mixed reviews. I personally enjoy this film. I know a lot of people don't. I respect that. I think it's a fun one, but it is what it is. Judge for yourself. The Last Broadcast. This movie came out before the Blair Witch Project. This is a fucking amazing film. If you've never seen this movie, and if you're not even into found footage films, definitely check this one out still. It's really fucking good. I love that movie. The Last Circus, a brilliant film. I highly recommend this one. Definitely check this one out. It's a great film. The Last Exorcism. Now, I enjoyed the premise of this film, and then the end happened, and then it completely ruined it for me. But, you know, up until that point, it was actually pretty decent. It was entertaining. I wasn't bored, but the ending ruined that movie for me. Last House on Dead End Street. This is a hard box, a small hard box, limited to 555. Got number 450. Doesn't really matter. This is a really fucked up film. I can't get that back in there. Really fucked up movie. And actually really hard to get a hold of. It seems like every release of this film goes out of print right away. Last House on the Left. Wes Craven. Not the best movie in the world. I can still watch this movie, but I'm not the biggest fan of it, I gotta say. The Last House in the Woods. I like this movie more than people are giving. You know, most of the reviews I saw on it were really shitty. I didn't hate this movie. I wouldn't fully recommend it though. Last House on Hell Street. Low budget fucking slasher shit. Once again, if you're into this type of movie, definitely give it a go. If you're not, then don't bother. Last of the Living, horror zomcom kind of deal. Actually pretty fucking funny. And once again, Shaun of the Dead got nothing on these slackers. For fuck's sakes with the Shaun of the Dead. Ugh, it fucking annoys me. The Last Horror Movie, fantastic movie. I couldn't recommend this movie enough. The Last Man on Earth, Vincent Price, one of my favorite films by Vincent Price. Vincent Price is one of my favorite 2 actors of all time, so I love everything that he's in, basically. The Last Shark by Enzo G. Casarelli. You know, Jaws ripoff featuring Vic Morrow. This movie's fucking awesome. It's got some amazing kills, but cheesy Italian fun. I recommend that movie. It might be out of print, though. I know it was limited. The Last Supper, enjoyable, kind of different, but you know, it's Asian cinema. I don't know. The Last Winter, I thought this movie was pretty cool. I'm a big fan of movies set in the snow. Kind of entertaining. Ron Perlman does a good job in this one. Stephen King's The Langoliers. I enjoy this. I have not watched The Langoliers in so many years. I need to revisit this sometime. Another Stephen King adaptation, The Lawnmower Man, more of like sci-fi kind of deal, but you know, The Lawnmower Man, it's kind of a weird fucking movie, but I still enjoy it, actually. Very interesting. Lawnmower Man 2, not as good, weird, but eh. The Legend of Boggy Creek, mockumentary, you know, about the fucking, this monster right here, Sasquatch or whatever you want to call him. It's very enjoyable, low budget shit, man, but fucking great movie. Great movie. Leprechaun, what can I say about Leprechaun? Warwick Davis, horror comedy, featuring Jennifer Aniston, of course, says down the corner. Fun film. Part 2, again, you know, cheesy fun. Love Leprechaun 2. Really enjoy Leprechaun 3, I think it's hilarious. And then you got Leprechaun 4, which is just a piece of shit, because they went to space with it. I think it's pretty bad. Leprechaun in the Hood, I actually really kind of enjoy. This movie's pretty bad, but it's in the hood, and it's just a funny setting for it, and I don't know, I enjoy it. And then Leprechaun Back to the Hood, had to make a sequel to that, and, you know, it's still enjoyable, I gotta say. Leprechaun 3-pack, this is just featuring the first 3 films. Let the Right One In, the original film, fantastic vampire movie. I'm pretty sure everyone has seen this one. If you have not, definitely check it out, it's amazing. Let Me In, the remake, featuring that girl from Kick-Ass. You know, it's actually not a bad movie. It's pretty much shot for shot. So I kind of, in my opinion, it's kind of unneeded. I mean, it's basically just an English version of the film. You know, it's okay, whatever. Leviathan, fantastic movie. I mean, most people have seen this one. It's a great, great fucking movie. Life Force, Tobe Hooper's Life Force. It's a really weird kind of space vampire film. This one has been recently released by Scream Factory. Blu-ray looks amazing. The movie has its problems, but I still enjoy it. Little Shop of Horrors remake from the 80s, musical. It's very enjoyable. Not even that huge into musicals, but I love that one. The Living and the Dead, Danger After Dark film. This is a pretty fucking cool movie, very twisted. I fucking recommend that movie, it was great. Mondo Macabro's Living Doll. This is kind of like a necromantic kind of deal about a dude that's obsessed with this girl. She dies, he steals her body, and then starts, you know, kind of living with her and shit. It's fucked up. It's got some really nasty parts. The progression of her rotting body makes me gag. A Lizard in Woman's Skin. In a Woman's Skin, Lucio Fulci. This is a great, great fucking film. Very psychedelic, kind of giallo. Very cool film. The Locker, this is part 1 and 2. These movies were decent. Not my favorite in the world, but, you know, it's Asian cinema. Ghost kind of shit. Long Pigs, Canadian, you know, shot documentary style. This is about a real-life serial killer, and they're basically following him around, and he's killing off people. It's fucking great, man. Great, great, great film. Highly recommend that. Clive Barker's Lord of Illusions. What can I say about Lord of Illusions? Very, very fun film. This one always cracked me up that Scott Bakula's in it. I don't know. I think I just like saying Scott Bakula. I don't know. His name makes me laugh. Jack Ketchum's The Lost. This is a really great movie. Cool story. Just really fucked up shit, man. Jack Ketchum really touches on some issues. The Lost Boys, classic vampire film. This is the Lost Boys collection. I bought this for the other 2, The Tribe and The Thirst. I didn't really like The Tribe. The Thirst I thought was better, which is part 3. David Lynch's Lost Highway, great soundtrack, really fucked up movie featuring Bill Pullman. Patricia Arquette, of course. You got cameos by Marilyn Manson. It's just a really fucking weird movie, man. Lucker the Necrophag is another film that I need to re-up on my channel. I have reviewed this one. I thought it was pretty cool. I think this is another film from the Netherlands, and released by Snaps. I thought it was pretty cool, actually, man, for low-budget shit. But Slaughterhouse, also known as, I think, Pig Farm Massacre, I think is the alternate title to this film. This is a fucking great film. The killer's pretty cool. Good kills, very entertaining slasher. Lurking Fear, Full Moon, creature kind of feature deal, H.P. Lovecraft story. You know what you're getting yourself into there. Macabre. This movie is fucking fantastic. Great high body count, great kills, lots of blood and gore. This is an Indonesian film. I featured this on a video I did a while back, Best of the Blind Buys. It's a fucking awesome movie, man. Machine Girl, more Asian, batshit crazy cinema. Fucking love this movie. It's just off the fucking wall. Machine Head, this is also released by Brain Damage. Low budget shit. Kind of enjoyable, though. I didn't actually hate that movie. Madhouse, this is a movie that has not come up on my 81 series yet. I will hopefully be reviewing this one. I want to revisit it, so I think it's actually a pretty good film. Another film called Madhouse. This one's pretty fucking cool. Featuring Lance Hendrickson's in this one for a little bit. Cool film. Anchor Bay Region 2 release of Madman. I love this film. It's great. It's a great movie. I think that I like that edition better than this one. This transfer by Code Red is kind of shitty, man. It's got like scratches in it, and I'm pretty sure there's a scene missing where the dude scares the people at the fire at the beginning of the movie. I swear that scene's cut out of this movie. I don't know why. Magic with Anthony Hopkins, ventriloquist kind of deal, released by Dark Sky Films. Fucking cool film, actually. The Majorettes, film from 1987, like a slasher action kind of revenge. This movie has it all, actually, man. It's pretty fucking wild. It's pretty enjoyable. Released by Shriek Show. Malevolence, this is the first film. The sequel's Bereavement, which is like a prequel. This is a fucking awesome movie, man. I really enjoyed that. Anchor Bay released that. Make Them Die Slowly, the alternate name for Cannibal Ferox. This is just like basically like a cut version released by Cheesy Flicks. Of course, I have the uncut version, Cannibal Ferox, but everyone knows what they're getting themselves into with that one. Man from Deep River, Umberto Lenzi's. This is a really cool film. I enjoy this one. Umberto Lenzi, Italian. The Mangler, directed by Toby Hooper, starring Robert Englund. Obviously based off Stephen King's short story. This is a good movie. The sequel's not so good. I gotta say, this movie's really good, and probably to the end. The end of the movie kind of, could have been better. Manhunter, Hannibal Lecter, the first story done in, I think, 86 or something like that. Very fucking awesome movie with William Peterson. Awesome fucking shit. My favorite slasher of all time, Maniac. This is the Anchor Bay edition, THX edition. This is released by Elite, another edition of Maniac here, letterbox edition. Maniac Cop 2. I have Maniac Cop 1 on Blu-ray. Maniac Cop 2 I actually prefer, waiting for the Blu-ray by Blue Underground to come out as Part 3, which is going to be the uncut version on Blue Underground, which I'm very fucking stoked about, so that should be cool. Not as good, but I can still watch it. The Manson Family. This is a really good film, man. One of my favorite Manson Family kind of films. I really, really recommend this one from Dark Sky Films. Mark of the Devil. I have a couple of different editions of this one. This is like the puke bag edition or whatever. Great film, man. Really, really fucking great film. Put Mars Attacks in here. I guess it kind of fits into the mold, a little bit. Great cast. Directed by Tim Burton. I don't know, everyone's seen that movie. An underrated George Romero film called Martin. Very cool vampire film. I love this movie. He's known for his zombie films, but definitely check this one if you've never seen it. Martin's a great film. Martyrs, what can I say? The French, one of the big Fab Four. Martyrs, very disturbing. It's hard to rewatch for me because it's kind of, I don't know, it's just hard. The Mask Maker, decent enough slasher. I didn't mind this movie. I thought it was decent. Mausoleum, I love this movie. I've picked out some fuck-ups in this one too. It's pretty funny, but very, very underrated film in my opinion. This is actually a bootleg from Revoke.com. They do a really good job. They look like they're actually legit copies. But yeah, I recommend that movie. I want to see like a Blu-ray release of that sometime. Maximum Overdrive with the cool cover, released by Anchor Bay. What can I say, man? Another Stephen King story. I enjoy that film. May, I love... Oh, fuck, man. This chick's performance in this movie is just fantastic. Just a great film. Highly recommend May. Awesome movie. More Asian batshit crazy stuff. Meatball Machine. Love this movie. It was just fucking entertaining and disturbing. Megan is Missing. Ooh, I could talk about this one for a long time. Not my favorite movie in the world. Actually, I didn't even really like it that much. I thought it was kind of shitty. Acting was poor. There's just elements in this that are so fucking stupid that, I don't know. I don't recommend it. Mega Shark vs. Giant Octopus. I've yet to actually watch this. I picked this up because of a review I saw, and a clip was shown by the Tattoo Doorman about a fucking shark jumping out of the water and eating a plane. That had me sold. Gotta watch that sometime. Metropolis is the 1984 remake with the really cool soundtrack and stuff. Fucking awesome film. Released by Kino. Midnight reviewed this on the 81 series. Not my favorite movie in the world. Arrow release. Very cool release, but not my favorite one. Lamberto Bava's Midnight Killer, slasher film that he did in the mid 80s or whatnot. So this will be coming up on my Lamberto Bava week. The Midnight Meat Train. I actually really enjoy this movie. I know a lot of people don't, but I could have probably done without the CGI, but I enjoy it though. It's pretty fucking cool. Next up is Midnight Movie. This is not the killer cut or whatever. Decent enough movie. I thought the premise was there, but just wasn't executed that great. But it's decent though. Miner's Massacre. It's exactly what the title is. It's a massacre at a mine. Decent enough slasher, I guess. Stephen King's The Mist. Love this movie. I love the end of this movie. I think it's fantastic. If you've never seen this shit, definitely check it out. A lot of Stephen King adaptations in here. Here's another one. Misery. Fantastic performances by Kathy Bates, James Caan. I recommend that movie. It's awesome. Mold. This is a movie that I need to do a review on because I really, really highly enjoyed this movie. I thought it was great. Great premise, so maybe look out for that. Monkey Shines. Not Romero's best, but decent enough film. Monsters. Now I was kind of disappointed with this movie. It's shot well, it's done pretty well. I kind of thought it went nowhere, but I don't know. Monster Brawl, not my favorite one in the world. I thought that the best thing about this movie was Dave Foley as the announcer. And introducing the monsters was pretty cool. As for the fights and shit, it was, whatever. Monster High. I always thought this was a fucking kids movie. Apparently it's not. Pretty fun film, though. I do recommend this one. Definitely check that out. Monster Shark. This is a Lamberto Sergio Martino film. Once again, you'll see a review coming up of that shortly. The Monster Squad Double Disc 20th Anniversary Edition. This is a great film. I have recently got some Blu-ray. It looks awesome. So, what can I say? Monster Squad's classic. We got a Midnight Features double pack here. Morons from Outer Space and Alien from LA featuring her. Kathy. Anyways. Very cheesy films. And last up for this shelf is Mother of Tears, the third installment of the Dario Argento Three Mothers trilogy. So, yeah, and that's going to do it for this video. Sorry about the length of this video. Oh my god, they just keep getting longer and longer. Anyways, guys, peace out. Thanks for